When it comes to rings, who says ladies get to have all the fun? Guys need rings too, and we're gonna show you how to pick yours coming up. Welcome to How To with Engage. Today, we're gonna help you guys figure out how to find your ring. For a lot of us guys, it's probably the first ring that we'll ever wear, our wedding ring. And so there's a lot of questions you probably have. What kind of style do I want? How's it gonna look? What kind of metal? Well, we have 4 simple questions that you need to answer to find your perfect men's style. All right, so the very first question that you wanna ask yourself is, what is your style? There's 3 main styles that we kind of consider when we think of men's rings. The first one is going to be your classic style. Now, whether it's 50 years ago or 50 years today, you know what I'm talking about. Your dad probably has this ring. It's very simple, very classic, and it's going to stand the test of time. The second style you can go with is a unique ring, a modern unique ring. Now, this is just basically gonna be something that stands out. Maybe you haven't seen it 50 years ago, maybe you won't see it 50 years from today outside of your finger, but this is the type of ring that's gonna stand out a little bit, unique traits that you love. The third option for your men's style is whether or not you want stones in your wedding ring. Now, this could be gemstones, diamonds, white diamonds, or black. A lot of guys like black diamonds, they're really cool, but whether or not you have them is going to drastically change the look of your ring. So whether it's classic, whether it's unique, or stones or without stones, probably the best thing that you can do to figure out this first question, look online, go to Pinterest, find some styles that you might like. But ultimately, when you come into Engage, we give you a tray, we let you pick a whole bunch because you gotta try them on your finger. At some point, a picture can only do so much. The best way to figure out your style, to get the ring on your hand to figure out what might be right for you. The second question you're gonna answer is width. Now, in our industry, we typically deal in millimeters. We measure millimeters left to right, 5 millimeters, 6 millimeters, 7 millimeters. How wide is it going to be? Now, the best way to do it is to just, again, put it on your finger and see what you might like. Now, if you're at home or maybe you don't have access to rings, something you can do is cut out strips of paper, lay them across your finger to kind of get an idea of what might be right for you. A quick tip on width: if you have longer fingers, you might want to opt for 7 millimeters or higher. And if you have shorter fingers, 6 millimeters or less. But one thing to keep in mind, there's no magic formula here. At the end of the day, your preference is absolutely key. Now, something else to consider when you're thinking about width is the band round or is it flat? A round and a flat ring, they might look drastically different even though they're the same width. It is an optical illusion. So if you're considering one or the other, again, the best way to determine is to get it on your finger to see how a flat or a round would look on your finger. Now, the third question is probably the question that's going to affect the price of your ring the most, and that is, what type of metal do you want? Now, when it comes to wedding rings for men, we basically break it down to 2 different categories: precious metals and alternative metals. Now, when we're talking about precious metals, that's gonna be your gold, your rose gold, white gold, yellow gold, and platinum. Now, when it comes to alternative metals, that includes things like carbon fiber, tungsten, or titanium, to name just a few. Now, with both precious metals and alternative, there are pros and cons to both. For precious metals, they are precious.
My precious.
They're rare, they are going to have some value. Now, we're not talking about a brick of gold or anything like that, but they do have some value. The other thing is that they are soft metals. So with soft metals, there's 2 things that come into play here. The first thing is you have a lot more options. You can customize it. You can style design a little bit differently because the metal can be molded in certain ways. The second thing with precious metals is because it's soft, you can size up or down very easily. So you did all this work to get in shape for your wedding, but once you're married, you got good food, you get that dad bod.
Maybe just a salad.
When it's time to size up, you're covered with precious metals as well. It's a perfect fit. Now, one of the downsides to precious metals is that they are soft, so they're going to wear down. They're easily scratched compared to alternative metals, and they can lose their shine over the years. But a little bit of maintenance will bring them back. You can get them polished, just something that you're gonna have to deal with if you go with one of those golds or platinum. Now, when it comes to your alternative metals, titanium, tungsten, carbon fiber, ceramic, to name a few, they pretty much all share the same pro, and that is they are very hard. Now, because they're hard, they're gonna be anywhere from scratch resistant all the way to scratch proof. Now, the con with alternative metals is that, again, they are very hard. So that's a 2-prong effect. When you have really hard metals, you're not gonna be nearly as customizable as precious metals. Now, that might limit what you can do with some of these metals. Secondly, you're not gonna be able to size up or down like you can with precious metals. The metal is just too hard. Now, while you might not be able to size up or down a alternative metal ring, they sell for a lot less than gold or platinum. So you might buy one gold ring that you can size up or down, but with alternative metals, because they sell for less, you can buy 2, 3, or 4 of them for the same price if your weight goes up or down. Another feature with alternative metals is that they come in a huge variety of colors that you're not gonna get with a platinum or a gold. Gunmetal, black, reds, blues, you have a ton of options. The last question to find your men's style is what kind of finish do you want? When it comes to men's rings, there's a ton of variety for how you can finish your ring. You can do high polished, brushed, hammered, sandblasted. And just like we've said previously, you wanna know what finish is gonna look best on your hand? Put it on your finger. You know, try them on, figure out what is going to be the best finish for you. So there you have it. These are 4 questions that will get you well on your way to finding your men's style. You know, maybe you figure out the kind of style you want, what type of metal, how wide is that metal gonna be on your finger, and how is it finished? These are some good starting blocks, but at the end of the day, us at Engage, we have all the knowledge, know-how, and selection. So when you're ready, hit us up and we'll help you find your perfect match.